Welcome back to the Franklin Factor podcast. We are so excited to be back for season 3, and Carrie is joining me today. We are talking today about recruiting, but not the normal recruiting, not splits, leads, production. We are talking about what we look for when we attract agents to our team and what that all means. So we will just dive right in.
Let's do it. I'm excited.
So Carrie, let's talk about that. How did we go about this? Because obviously it's been a start where we started with agents. There's obviously lots of stories we can talk about as we go. But I think we found a common denominator in some of this stuff, but maybe we just dive right in and talk about it.
Well, I think for us, we've talked about this on prior podcasts, but we came up with 4 core values for the Franklin team many years ago when we started with EOS. And do you want to talk about how we came up with those?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. So EOS, that was probably about 6 years ago, maybe? Yeah, somewhere around that. So I think we started in 2020.
Yeah, 2020 or 2021.
21 maybe.
Somewhere right around there.
So we didn't have any core values. We've been a team for, 35 plus years, 40
we knew
years.
what was important to us and people, but we didn't
have it clearly defined. Yeah. So we started EOS, and what's really cool about it is they lead you into your kind of start from the backwards, if you will, where they told us to pick your top staff members, agents, anybody that's with the company that was a strong fit that you would never want to leave, but is a really good definition and a really good employee, has the great core values that you want. So we went that way.
We did.
And I remember that day because there were so many people who are still with us today, of course. They'd already been long-term employees.
And we were writing out all the different qualities that made them awesome. Like what do we love about each person? And that's how we came up with the core values that we have today.
Yeah.
So I think that's helped us a lot with recruiting agents, both hiring and coaching, once people are on the team. And, I talk about them anytime I'm talking with an agent about the team. And I think it's important for them to know what's important to us as well, And I think what's different about these core values, it's not like you walk in our office and they're plastered all over the walls. Like a lot of times companies will have that, right? They'll have them like on the walls and people don't really talk about them. You see them up there, but you're not talking about them. And I think what's really been cool for us is that now just on our team every week, we see agents or staff members that are shouting out other team members for different core value things that they have seen or witnessed or been a part of that week, which has been pretty cool too.
Yeah, and that's even just a newer thing recently that we implemented. But like talking about like our core values and like how much like us just defining them and really talking about them on a regular basis. We, like you said, we hire, we fire based on them. We reward based on them.
Yes.
Obviously, it's a really big deal for us when we're recruiting because our goal isn't just to get somebody that can sell homes. Right. Our goal is for them to fit into our model, be a good fit for our culture. Because how many times have we hired, whether it's an agent or an employee that we've hired that we thought was going to be a core fit, or maybe we didn't really know. We thought, okay, maybe.
So, I feel like sometimes you can't know.
You can't, right? And then we held on for a long time. I can think of some, that come to mind now that we held on even though they had everything else except this one.
Yeah.
And like Jeff, our EOS implementer always says is once you realize it, you got to make that change because they can hurt the company in other ways.
Yeah. Hurt the overall company culture.
The culture, which I never really thought was a big deal until we've seen how well it can make us do so much better. Like produce, everyone's helpful.
Absolutely.
Everyone's that fits that core value really can make a huge difference.
Yeah. So our first one is being driven. So what does that mean to you?
Self-motivated.
Yeah.
Doesn't need somebody who's going to be there to make sure they're being accountable.
Yeah.
Just really a hard worker.
Like we do hold our agents accountable and our team, our team members. And so, but I think that being driven too is you're already that way, before you come here. You're self-accountable. So I think that's definitely qualities that we look for.
Exactly, for sure. And driven is, especially for an agent in this role, these agents come here, they're, a lot of times coming from a different profession where they had an 8-to-5 job.
Had a boss.
They had hours. They had a boss to report to. A lot of people think coming into being a realtor, it's just, I'm going to get my license and I'm going to be successful.
Yeah.
And we've seen it time and time again, how many agents come in and they have to have that self-motivated, very driven. That's not really something that you can teach.
No.
I don't believe.
No.
You really have to be a self-starter. So that one, we think that was number one.
Yeah.
I think that's number one.
Yeah, for sure.
Our second one is team player.
Huge deal here.
Yes.
Obviously we are a team, but I think for us, it's about helping each other, being collaborative, what's working for you. That's how we are at our brokerage as well, which is what's been so amazing. But I think that pouring into our team that's where you really see people shine, and, agents or team members being willing to help each other regardless of what it means for them,
Exactly. I think there's a kind of an example from years and years ago when we were at EXP, I think probably before you joined the team. And it was just another agent at our brokerage. So it wasn't somebody on our team, but I'd asked this agent how she got some of these builder listings. And she was very tight-lipped, didn't want to share. And not only does that make I talk about that with EXP's collaboration, because come on, there's enough business for everybody.
Oh, absolutely.
And I wasn't she didn't have some secret that she was gatekeeping, you know? But that's what's so cool, that I see the agents on a daily basis sharing how they can help. They're not incentivized by any means. They're sharing some new knowledge that they found out, or they're sharing, how they did something better on this, or how they made a quick, on one of the documents, like a quick template or something. They're always able to help out. And I think that's huge, especially being on a team. If I was looking to join a team, that tells me a lot if team player is a core value.
We have agents that are competitive with each other, like a healthy competition, which I think is great. But even with that, they're always, it's always over collaboration over competition, right? We say that all the time, but I think we definitely see that on our team, and that's important to us. And if I saw something where someone wasn't willing to be a team player, I think that's where it would be, a red flag for sure, that a change would be needed.
And even our admin, all of our back end support staff, everybody, they're just so amazing. I have to shout out to Kirsten, who, we needed help with a contract, and that's not even her job. It's not even near that, but she offered to help. And she told me today when I sent her a little gift, I'm like, and she's like, that's my job, is to help out. And I'm like, no, that's you being a core value team player. And I just wanted you to know how much we appreciate that.
For sure. Absolutely.
So we see it on the daily here, and it does make me so proud that we have so many people like that.
No, definitely. I agree.
So third one,
is
integrity, which, how would you explain that?
So I think on our team, at least this is the way that I think about it. Your dad created the Franklin team and built this amazing reputation in the market, in the Houston market. And so for me, I don't see integrity. Obviously, it's doing the right thing when nobody's looking. We know what the definition is. But for me, I see it more as we need to uphold this amazing reputation that Jimmy built and continue that on. And so that's kind of the way I see it. It's we want to have that integrity with our clients. And maybe sometimes it's telling our clients, now's not the right time to sell, or maybe you shouldn't be buying this home. Sometimes we have to say those things to help them, even though maybe it wouldn't help us, right? We're not going to get a listing, but maybe it's the best thing for the client.
And I completely agree, or they're wanting to do something that, isn't the right thing necessarily, not financially or something, but they're wanting to do something unethical.
Yeah.
It is our job to tell them that that's not the right way to do it, right? And that you can't stand behind it. There's so many different ways but we have to uphold, our license
Yeah.
and our duty to the client for sure.
Absolutely.
Even if we don't benefit financially from that decision. But I've seen it happen over the years where I've done that, and those people, where I told somebody, hey, not the right time, please, reach out to me. Let me know when you're ready. I would wait. I'd sit here for a couple years on this because the values haven't increased enough. And they so appreciate so much that they refer other people in the meantime,
and they're going to use you when the time comes.
Exactly. So we've always kind of been like that. I think, again, that's something where that's just like a personal core value of my own.
Right.
I mean, I'm just not going to be somebody that's going to tell, false information.
No, for sure.
And
I think too, what I love is that our core values are similar to our other companies, right? Like, so Envision Title or Encore Acquisitions, like they kind of, our core values sort of bleed into these other companies. And so they're such great partners of ours too. So I love that.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So the last one is extreme ownership.
Yes.
And so what does that mean to you?
Yes.
But that's really what it's about, right?
Is owning your mistakes, right? So if you mess up, which we all do on a daily basis, and I think this is huge, and I so appreciate when somebody takes ownership when they mess up, and then I'll do the same. I mean, none of us are perfect.
Oh, no.
We don't expect anybody that works for us, even agents, staff, anybody to be perfect. But when you do screw up, like own it and learn from it and grow from it. It's not the most frustrating part would be if you're constantly making mistakes and not learning from it, obviously. So owning it and growing from it and moving forward.
I mean, real estate can be hard, and mistakes happen, and I feel like we want the Franklin team to be a safe place to fail. Like, if you're going to make a mistake, it's okay, but like you said, you learn from it and you don't do it again. You grow from those mistakes.
Being an agent, especially in this time with real estate, not every transaction's the same. So you're likely going to mess up, or you're not going to know how to do something, or you're going to make a little mistake. I mean, it's very likely there will be mistakes made.
Yeah.
But again, just learning from it. That's the beauty of being on a team, because we have so many resources to help out or help answer questions.
Definitely.
The mentorship, everything that we have available, to where you're not really at it alone.
Yeah, you're definitely not at it alone on the Franklin team. There's plenty of people to go to all the time to get questions answered or get the support, or sometimes you just got to talk through stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
So I think that's great. So those are our 4 core values, and they're definitely things that we look for when we are bringing on agents to the team. We talk about them with agents on the team before they join, so that they know what they're getting into when they come to us.
That reminded me, though, because we haven't really rolled this out with the company yet, but we will be, is our 5th one, which I don't even know if we determined exactly what we wanted to say. Did we? I mean, I have it here as customer experience.
Yes.
So, and this is one that we have on the Envision title as well, where we wanted to make sure we're providing superior customer service.
Yeah.
Above all else, right? Like, again, our fiduciary responsibility is to the client. So the way we are kind of looking at it is it's not just a transaction, right? This is a relationship. And so we're looking at, hopefully, our customer service is so good that they don't need to find another agent
like
ever again, right? And so that's the goal.
Relationship for life.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we felt like we were just missing one. And so in our last quarterly, we did add one. And so we'll be rolling that out.
And that's what I appreciate about EOS, is that we're able to go back and look at these and see if there is anything. And that was something that we talked about. Our 4 core values are so great. They're so solid, but there wasn't anything in them necessarily directly correlated to a customer or to a client. And so I'm really excited to get that rolled out. So by the time this podcast airs, it will be rolled out.
Exactly. Yes.
And I think that having that structure, it just makes it really just transparent to everybody on what's important to us and what we're looking for. So
I don't know about you, but it just reminded me, but when you've worked at other companies, and I know the company that you worked, when you worked at David Weekley, they are very big on their core values and their culture is amazing. The company I worked for before was big on their core values as well. And I don't remember them now because it's been like probably 20 years ago, but it was a big deal. Like you went through and onboarded and you learned all about it. Integrity, I think, was one of theirs because I feel like that is one on a lot of people's.
Yes.
But talk about that. Like, is there anything different?
Well, I think if you've worked at a great company, if you can think back, like to our listeners, if you think about companies you've worked for that had really great core values and did talk about them and did, embed them into the culture of the company, I think you realize what a difference that makes working there.
Yes, absolutely.
I think it definitely sets those companies apart because I can think of other places I worked that didn't have any, and so I'm so grateful that we did that.
Yes.
So we are still growing the team. So we would love to have you. And every week I do an informational session that's 1 hour. It's at our office in Katy where we are right now. And we will leave a link in the comments so that if you're an agent, you're looking for a great team, we'd love to talk with you and share more details about the team. So just sign up for that informational and we'll send you a calendar invite and we'd love to see you.
So what we look for in the agents themselves.
Yeah.
Is that what you wanted to talk about?
I think for us, and again, sometimes it's hard to tell just from those initial conversations. And so we don't know until you're here. But I think things that are important that, an agent needs to think about if they're thinking about joining our team is being willing. We talked about accountability, and I think that piece is big.
Huge.
And being coachable too.
Coachable, for sure.
Because none of us are perfect, like we said, and we can all grow. And so I think that those are things that we can provide. And where I've really seen agents excel, the ones that are able and open to that coaching and open to that accountability, those are the ones whose businesses have grown the most.
And we have so many resources that we believe is a huge part of our offering and our value to these agents. We want to make sure that somebody is willing to be open to doing things the way we do them, the way the way we find the best way, but also collaborative, which we kind of talked about with the team player and stuff like that. But and that's a big part of us with our brokerage as well.
It's true. And you really can't say like, oh, our ideal agent has closed X number of transactions before they join or has been in the business for X number of years, because honestly, none of that really matters. It's more of how they are as a person and how they're going to be on our team. Like how are they going to fit our core values?
Yeah.
And so I think, whether an agent is brand new or they've been doing this for 10 years, they can both fit in beautifully on our team because of all the leverage that we provide and resources.
We do have great processes that we have perfected over the years.
Yes.
And so obviously being able to follow a process because there are, lots of different processes when it comes to, sellers, buyers, whatever. So I think that's a big part of it. But one of the things that I was thinking about, which kind of tie into core values, of course, but even like the mindset, a longer term mindset, like we said on customer service, like this isn't just one closing.
Right.
Yes, we do all have transactions that tend to be very difficult and they may not end where we want to work with them again in the future or vice versa, right? But for the most part, we are looking at this as a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
We've been around for so long that we want to keep our name out there and continue to provide as many services as we can to people that we work with.
Yeah. So same thing with agents. We want them to want to partner their business with us for a long time. And we want the agents to see this as a career. So I think that's kind of what you're thinking too.
Yes.
It's not just coming in here and learning for a year and then moving on to the next thing. We are looking to grow agents that see real estate as their career and that this is their long-term business plan, and we want to help them grow that business. And so I think too, the ones that can really dive into and understand all the technology that we have and leverage it, those are the ones that do a great job and are able to grow their business
That's very common characteristic of the people that do really well for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, Carrie, so what do most agents, what surprises most agents when they join the team?
I hear a lot of surprise even when I'm sharing all the value with agents when I'm talking to them about the team. I think, first of all of the support staff that we have. Even today, I was talking to an agent. She's been licensed for several years, and I was talking to her about how we have a full-time runner that puts out signs and lock boxes. And, what I want for our agents is that there's less chaos, right? There's less running around. We want to be able to have a process for everything, and so that it feels organized and their business can feel a little bit more simplified too. Like they aren't having all the chaos that a solo agent might have.
Well, and they have more time to go out and lead generate or handle their leads.
Exactly.
Provide good service to the clients.
Well, and thinking about what else surprises agents, I think is just honestly the access to team leads that are available.
Yes.
And because we really do. We have a lot. For some agents, they may see teams and think about, the splits, like I don't want to give this up. But my goodness, if you have access to all these buyer and seller opportunities and you can grow your pipeline and build your business, because all agents are trying to create a repeat and referral based business, right? And so I feel like all of these access that they have to team leads from us just help grow that and supplement it. I've seen so many times agents that work with a buyer and then they refer their family member and then they refer their friend and then that buyer comes back and wants to purchase another property. And that's what all agents want, right? And so no one's starting from zero when they come here. Because I know sometimes when a new agent starts, they know they need to call their sphere and they need to prospect. And what does that mean? Am I cold calling? And that can happen. Yes, prospecting is really important, but there's also access to warm leads that are ready to go.
Ready to go. Yeah.
So I think that's important.
You start right away, because some teams, you don't start right away. They want to see that you've done your sphere and that you've all this other stuff, do open houses, and they don't hand over as many leads.
No, definitely not. Or you have to close a certain amount of transactions before you have any access to any leads. And so, we had an agent join us last fall, and she went all in on one of our lead sources, which is Movoto, and she got several of them under contract right off the bat in her first, 60 days on the team.
Wow.
Which is you don't see that very often, right?
No.
So, and then again, you provide that customer service that we talked about and create that client for life.
Yep.
So I think those are some of the things that surprises people the most.
Yeah. That's a huge part. I think you guys do a great job when you're interviewing the agents, making sure in the way you guys have perfected answering the questions over time during, if an agent really does want to come on board and see if they're really a true fit. Because honestly, the goal isn't just to bring people on just for them to leave.
Right.
Our goal is, hey, if this sounds like something that fits with you and aligns with you and what your goals are, then you're probably at the right place.
Exactly.
And that's our goal, is we want you to be here, stay here, and love it here.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Definitely reach out to us.
We'd love to chat.
Yeah, would love to. And thanks so much. We
Of
really
course.
appreciate it. Thanks, Carrie.
Absolutely.
See you guys next time.